you're Moorish in my constitution, my law. What's the highest title amongst the Moors? Faith. Okay? And by knowing that, that's knowing that you're ancient. Because the one that's the commander of the faithful commanded all of them. Okay. But since the introduction of the title of Sultan, that translates perhaps as emperor. Okay? Now what is an emperor? What is an empire? Anyone? Exactly. Over a nation, meaning that it's basically a conglomerate of nations. Okay? So for Sultan to be equivalent to emperor, because when they said, when George Washington wrote his letter for the apology and taxes, he addressed it to the emperor of Morocco. Okay? So what were the various nations that he had under his control? See? So we know it was, Northern Africa, Southern Europe, North, Central, South America, and then Northern Africa. That was all the Moorish Empire. Okay? So when they were addressing in that regard. Okay? North, Central, and South America and the Northern Islands were known as the dominion of the Moorish Empire. Okay? Early in the 17th century, that of the mirror has almost dropped in conversation, and although no more would ascribe the succession to any other ruler than his own, they did not trouble themselves about it in Morocco, except in theory the caliphate in its original form of a general leadership of all the Muslims has been extinct since the Turks conquered Egypt. Okay? Now, once the Turks conquered Egypt, they cut deals with Europeans, stuff like that, and that set in motion the ending of the Moorish Empire. Okay? Because the Turks were supposed to continue to rule the empire in our stead. Right? But instead, because they betrayed us, we had to in turn cut deals with the Europeans. That's how it started. Alright? So when you're losing power, anytime you cut a deal with the European, you're in a weakened state. No one who's strong cuts a deal with the European, because no one is going to stand with your back. Islam? Alright? But it still applied to edicts and in documents addressed to his Sharif and Majesty. In any case, the Sultan of Morocco is the highest spiritual as well as temporal power recognized by the Moors. Okay? And in Divine Warning, the prophet said, if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. Okay? Now, we take that around amongst us, as that. And some of the understanding we got on that as third generation Moors is the fact that with each, successive official, okay, each official that takes on the title or is appointed the position of grand sheikh or sheikhess, or governor or governess or whatever, you are the representation of the prophet in this day and time. Alright? Is anybody aware that the Vatican, every pope is the vicar or is supposedly God on earth until God gets back? Y'all understand that, right? Okay? So, that being the case, it's the duty of each pope to carry stuff at the highest of standards to keep everybody on a normal box. Well,
I mean, like Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, sir.
That name, is that just the title, or that's just her name? Like when she passed away, the next person in her spot, her name would be as the name of her birth certificate, or would it be Queen Elizabeth?
Well, what they do is with the Windsor family, which that's the house that you're a part of. So I was asking now, what house are you a part of? What would you say? Much hesitation. You are the house of Ali. Okay? The reason that's dual fold. The primary reason is because the patriarch that redeemed you. You know what I'm saying? In other words, they reissued your nationality back, which Sharif Abdul Ali. Okay? So basically he adopted us within his family line. Okay? Because he knew that not just himself exclusive, but all of us were the bloodline descendants of all the ancient nobles in ancient days. Okay? Now, what Elizabeth Northern did was, the Windsor, the house of Windsor did, they're attempting to tie their bloodline back to the ancient Hebrew. That's why her name is Elizabeth, which is in Hebrew, was the Hebrew name, but in Hebrew it's Elishama. Okay? Alright? Eli means my creator, and Sheba goes back to Cush. Okay? But Elishama, or Elizabeth is tied back. So when you look at various different things, the Union Jack, which is their flag. Okay? Jack is short for Jacob, or Yaqub. You know what I'm saying? On her crown, there's 12 jewels at the base, representing the 12 tribes of Israel, so on and so forth. We have a video called The Ring of Power, and on there it goes very simple to insight. But basically, that's their way of tying into the line. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the ancient bloodline to justify why they are the chosen people. You see what I'm saying? They're the principle of the chosen people, but you are them, not them. Those are the ones that are ruling in your stead. You with me?
Right, but I'm saying, why would she want to tie back into the children of, what if she's going to try to tie back into the children of Israel or the Jews?
No, there's a difference. There's a difference between the children of Israel and the Jews.
Right.
Okay? She tied back into the children of Israel, which would be the scriptures that the Judeo-Christian world possesses, the Bible and the Quran. All the prophets mention them as a particular bloodline. Before the beginning of most chapters, it says so-and-so, son of so-and-so. It gives genealogy charts going back. Because if you tie back into that, you have rights to certain lands on the planet. You see what I'm saying? Like in other words, of the 12 tribes of Israel, real quick, there was a great disagreement. 2 tribes went north, the other 10 went south. Right. 2 tribes went north, didn't just go north, they went northwest. Cut over and came across the Atlantic and inhabited here. So when you look amongst the so-called Native Americans, and you look amongst a lot of them in the custom, a lot of them are bred and designed. You know what I'm saying? If you go in the Ancient American magazine, I referred to before, on some of the free ones they have on the internet, they have a stone in Michigan, in the Great Lakes area, where they have the crucifixion story. You know what I'm saying? Way before the actual crucifixion happened in Michigan. Those show that these people were already here. You know what I'm saying? But that's a certain bloodline. So if I can say I'm you, or I'm a descendant of you, I have rights to your house. You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to use the name to tie into the bloodline.
Exactly. And who were the original ones? Okay. Who the original nobles or the original lords in England? Write this book down. Ancient and Modern Britain. B-R-I-T-O-N-S. Ancient and Modern Britain. Okay? Inside that book, volume 1 and 2, one of you will easily find it on Amazon. But within there, it talks about how the Moors never conquered England. Alright? We were always there. You don't have to conquer. Like in other words, we didn't conquer the Americas. We didn't have to because we were already here. But the Europeans, we can show a starting point when he came into England. You see what I'm saying? From the Yucatan Peninsula and the regions near Argentina. That's another story. But he was brought to England. Alright? Because, cool climate, so on and so forth, to help him with his albinism. Alright? Yes?
The Moorish Empire is ancient. Why do you say third generation?
The reason why I say third generation is because Noble Raleigh, what he did was, with the Act 1, when I went through the Black Constitution by law, Act 1 reorganized the empire. In other words, the Moorish Empire, what I was drawing from, when they mentioned the title Amir, you know what they say? The title Amir was given away to the title of Sultan. Okay? Well, when Noble Raleigh returned the empire to it, he reorganized the empire. So what the Sultan was in the ancient world was an autonomous ruler. Okay? So there was no one to check it. So he said, if we're to ever rise again, we can't repeat the same. So he reorganized the empire. When he reorganized it, he put the check and balances in Act 1. Okay? So to answer your question, we chart time from when our empire was reorganized, from Drew Ali on. So Drew Ali and all of them are the first generation of Moors. Our elders like Sa'd Tariq Bey and all of them, they're the second generation of Moors. Alright? And there's like a 30, 40 year span of that age group right there. And then there's the third generation of Moors. Third generation was born around, late 60s, early 70s. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some before, born 80s and 90s.